Hey everybody, Terrible Shoes back at it again, and for today's video, this will technically be the last video before Christmas, and I wanted to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone who celebrates. I really hope you guys all have a great one, and I hope you've been taking care of yourself this year, and that everything went the way you wanted it to. And I hope for next year as well, you get everything you want, and you have great success in your life. With that, I'd like to show you one last thing I'm going to open before the year ends. I'm sorry if you hear a little bit of like buzzing. Somebody's vacuuming upstairs. I can't really wait much longer. It's been going on for a long time, and that's fine. So let's get into today's video. We have got one final jank bootleg Pokemon Advent calendar that we are going to open today and see what 24 figures are inside of it waiting for us. I've actually been doing one personally off video, so I really wanted to try out a Lego one this year, but the real ones are really expensive. I went with an Aliexpress one, and I seem to be getting nothing but Ninjago figures and a couple superheroes here and there. It was supposed to be all superheroes, the calendar, but it's mostly Ninjago stuff, and I don't know. It annoyed me a little bit, so I'm doing it as a little bit of a palate cleanser here. Let's see what garbage we are going to get in our bootleg Chinese Pokemon Advent calendar. Let's kick off with day one. And day one, we are starting off with a banger, Zorua, after he has been suffocated to death, it seems. He is a strange purplish color, and his face looks as if he has simply applied nothing but clown makeup on. I can't really get the camera to focus too good in on that, but it's not like you'd want to see it anyway. So, all right, kicking it off to day two. Let's see what we got here. We have got a Lairon, or Larian, I'm not sure how you pronounce the name, but instead of being metal, he is entirely black minus a couple of silver dots on his right side. No eye painting either. It seems as though they started painting this side and then just simply forgot to paint the rest of the figure. Anyway, let's go into day three. We'll zoom through these moderately quickly. We have got a Sylveon Spirit after it has passed away. This is yet another figure that they looks like they forgot to paint it almost, because I actually have this exact same Sylveon figure that I got years ago in a different color. Same exact model and everything. And I don't really get it. It won't even stand up. How disappointing. Anyway, let's go on to day four. What can we get here? And for day four, we have Lickitung doing some utterly disgusting things to himself. He has a barely painted on face, and for some reason this particular figure feels slimy. So we're going to move straight on to the next one, of which we have Jolteon after taking a baseball bat to the face. This actually is nothing particularly wrong minus the face with this figure. I guess it's close enough to an actual Jolteon figure that it would fool a little kid. That's about it for that one. I know I'm going through these rather fast. They're very small, these figures, and there's really not a ton to say about these particular ones. Volpeed? Volpeed? Right? Am I wrong here? Either way, this is close enough to the actual coloring on the real Pokemon. But once again, no eye coloring. This seems to be a big theme with this particular calendar. And something I love about these bootleg figures is it doesn't matter how many times you get the same figure. For some reason, it's just always different. Like, for instance, sometimes they'll be colored differently. Sometimes they'll be shaped moderately differently. Sometimes it'll look like the eyes will be painted on one, but they'll be printed on another one. It's just so crazy to me how many variations there are of the same bootlegs. Now let's open up our next day. We got day 7 here. And we have got what appears to be a Charizard bootleg. outside of the flame not being painted properly and the eyes being painted very poorly on, this figure does not look terrible. As for day 8, we have got, well, here's one we pulled in another calendar I opened recently, Zebstrika. But once again, completely incorrect coloring, as they have reversed the black and white portions on its body. All right, got some cardboard flying here. Day 9, I gotta be completely real. Even if I was a younger kid and I got this as a gift from someone who didn't know any better, I think I'd be a little pissed, because this shit is garbage. We have got Chimchar. His hand is larger than the paint on his face, it seems. So that's really that for him. And also he can't stand because his head is too top heavy. Now, we got a good one for the next day. Here is one I have never gotten before, and this is actually going on display right over by my television. We have got Doug Trio, but its face looks as if it were 3 Wispy Woods from Kirby lined up. I've actually never seen that figure before, so that's a really interesting one. Let's go on to the next one. Simply a Numel. Yep, Numel, but no painting on the hump on its back. Looks more like a capybara in that case. Day 12, we're going on. Now we've got actually a very interestingly colored Rhydon right here. He's got like a bluish tint. The eyes are not terrible on this figure, except for this side where it is abnormally low compared to the other side. I also want to point out how Mew has a very nice, nicely photoshopped Christmas-like hat on. And same thing with Pikachu, but nobody else on the calendar does. Anyway, going into day 13, we're almost done here. Day 13, we have got Venusaur. I think this is, yes, Venusaur, wearing a little fez cap on his back. I mean, I guess it's supposed to be the flower. It's supposed to be the flower, but it actually looks like the support from a 3D print, which is also possible. Or he could just be wearing a fez cap. Who knows? Maybe he's making a fashion statement. We're going into our next one. And we've got like some creepypasta level stuff here. We've got this Pokemon with bright red bloodshot eyes. I do not get it. Very weird stuff. And hold on a second. I'm going to have to pause. Sorry about that. There was just a lot of noise going on. I didn't want it to get caught by the camera or the microphone. So for our next one, I also took an opportunity to just remove all the extra garbage on here. So we were at day 15. Let's open that up. And we have, oh wow. We've got a completely albino Victini, like no coloring outside of the eyes whatsoever. Let's move on to our next one. And this is one that I am usually impressed with because it's usually very, very spot on. We've got Wigglytuff. This time the eyes are not painted particularly well. They're usually painted like a greenish or bluish color. But on this variation, everything but the eyes are accurate. I think that's pretty crazy. Let's go to day 17 in our bootleg Pokemon Advent Calendar. And here we have got, big theming here by the way, horsey, but only partially painted. Its stomach and its back are not painted in any proportions, and it is just a solid light blue color. This one also appears to be a little slimy. I'm not really certain what happened here. Okay, for day 18, I've got Dugong once it has been possessed by a spirit. Its head seems to be doing a full 180 on the figure, and that's really interesting. I guess it's dead at that point, right? I mean, if anyone's head did like a straight 180 back, it would be done. But whatever. I'm not going to question how the Chinese print their figures. Next up, we have got Pikaman. Pikaman. No stripes on his back, no black on his tail. Very interesting. This is actually relatively accurate for the most part, minus its low quality, obviously. So I give them some credit. And, oh man, I don't even know how they messed this up. We have got my boy the goat for alligator with his eyes a little too far off the side of his head. Like they're printed like all the way down by his mouth. You can't really see it, but it is some poor quality stuff. Let's go into day 21 now. We saw this in our last calendar as well. We have got a whale lord with an incorrectly colored bottom. It's a gray instead of a white. We've only got 3 more. Let's hope they're good ones. Day 23. We have got one of the dinosaur fossil Pokemon. And it's interesting. Anyway, day 23. We've got Electrike with its eyes printed so far off to the side that it looks like an alien. Yep, that white part is its eyes that are supposed to be in front. And we're going to end our bootleg calendar with this gem, a Mime Junior, that actually looks kind of accurate. Now, let's have some final thoughts on this. So this calendar cost me about $7. Way cheaper than a regular advent calendar, but is it worth it to get a discount calendar like this when the quality is so low? And my opinion is no. Honestly, it's not. First off, the figure calendars, they go for about $40 to $60, depending if you get the regular or the premium. And while I think those are a ripoff, it is better to take that extra money and buy something where you're going to get an official Tomy figures, as opposed to this garbage that smells weird, is painted incorrectly, is greasy, slimy, and on top of that, this is not something you'd want around small children or them putting it in their mouths because you don't know what kind of chemicals are on these things. That's the first problem. Second problem is, like, how do you explain these to somebody that comes over? Like, they just look like garbage, and I don't even think your little cousins would want these. That's how bad they are. And like I said, for $7, take that $7 and get yourself like a value meal somewhere at a fast food place, or get a couple drinks at 7-Eleven. Do anything else with that $7 than buy whatever like this shit is supposed to be. And that's really all I got to say about this one. It's yet another bootleg calendar from Aliexpress. I hope you enjoyed the opening today. And if you were thinking about picking one of these up, I hope you don't now. I'm going to be opening more Pokemon stuff in the next year. I'm going to try to keep up a little bit more. And with that, I hope you have a happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. I will catch you guys in the next year. I'll see you.